Facebook. It's your girl Trish, and we are here for our weekly um, live journaling with Trish. I want to welcome everyone for coming in. I'm not going to be on here long, and my apologies for missing last week. Last week I missed due to a migraine, so I wasn't able. I was recovering, so I wasn't able to do the live. I thought at one moment I would be able to do it, and it was not going to happen. So I went ahead and canceled last week. But I hope everyone's last couple of weeks have been blessed. Has been God has been gracious and merciful in your life. Um, Happy belated Mother's Day. I actually wanted to come on because we were running a campaign for my new nonprofit, A Hava Kind of Love Queen for a Day contest. And so that ended on Mother's Day. And my team and my board, will be getting together after this call. I do too much. I have too many conference calls. After this live, I will be getting on a conference call with my board so that we can review all of the candidates that submitted for it. So I'm really excited about Queen for a Day and just to kind of recap on what it's about. My show has been, ever since my show has been in existence, as far as doing the TV show prior to the radio show that we did previous years. Once we started doing the TV show, I just really wanted to and felt led to bless a phenomenal woman out here doing and living her best life and just doing things honorably, respectfully, class with class. And so we started out, I want to say we started out with entrepreneurs. That's how we started. And so our first 2 years we did entrepreneurs. And what we do is we brought them in, we did all of their branding. So whatever their brand colors, their whatever it was that they did, we supported them and material um, and content for them to go off on their own to be able to help hopefully build their businesses. And so that's what we did first 2 years. This was our third year. Well, I feel like it's our fourth year. Oh, yeah, because our third year was last year. Duh. Hey, everybody who's coming on. I don't want you guys to come on without me addressing you, but hey, everybody, thank you for joining in. But yeah, so last year, because I did the Care for Giver event in 24, I appointed a no 25, yeah 24. I appointed from that particular community event a caregiver, and so we brought Tanya Eames on. She had served her husband as his caregiver for 4 years, and he ultimately passed. But we wanted to bring some love and light into her life. And so it was just such a great experience. I love doing it. I love doing it for my fellow ladies because we go hard. We really do. And you deserve a day where you can just focus and everybody can trip over themselves on your behalf. That's why we refer to women on my shows as queens because we are your squires, and we are on this day. We are our desire is to make sure you enjoy yourself and you have a pleasant day. So my board will be meeting after this live, and we will be discussing how we're going to go. The process will go to select our new caregiver, not caregiver, queen for the day. I will be announcing it on my first taping in June, which I believe is June 14th, whatever that Saturday, second Saturday in June is. And I'll also announce it here. Once I find out, I'll probably announce it here first, knowing I shouldn't, but we'll see. But anyway, I don't want to delay the time. I thank you guys for lending me your ear for just that moment. Of course, we are in week 9 of Becoming Her in our live journaling with Trish. And the topic for today is courage. And I love this topic because it can take you in so many different spans, so many different areas in your world and in your journey. And the reason why I added this and included this in the journaling prompt is because I think we are a lot more courageous in our everyday lives than we want to give ourselves credit for. And I think that we really, 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 truly need to give ourselves credit, um, so that it allows us to refine and perfect. I'm trying not to use perfect, the word perfect anymore. I'm going through counseling right now, and that's one of my stumbling blocks is the illusion of being perfect or feeling like you're perfect or making other people. I'm that's my battle. So I'm going through counseling. So I don't want to say perfect. I don't want to use that term, but so that you can hone in and tweak the things that you need to tweak to make you a better you. Not perfect, but make you a better you. Okay. And so that was why I wanted to add it into this journaling prompt, because we got to give ourselves credit. We got to stop being so hard on ourselves. We really do. We really do. I think that there is areas of weaknesses that we need to step up and do better in, but I think that the only way that we can successfully do that is to recognize and acknowledge all of the things, all the successes that we have, and all of the great parts of us that exist. We have to acknowledge that and we have to celebrate that, at the same time working on the areas that are weaker. And so that was why I wanted to include courage. So we have four prompts, which is usually the norm of up under this topic of courage. And the first of all, I want to remind you guys that the Becoming Her is a free link. All you have to do is go to my website, trishstanley.com, go down, scroll all the way down to the bottom. Let me know, send me a message and let me know that you want your free copy of Becoming Her journaling prompt. This is a prompt book. I want you to go out and buy you the cutest and bedazzle and do whatever you want to do with your journal. But this is just a prompt to help those who are needing just some guidance in journaling and on our journey of self awareness, self help, and bettering ourselves. So let me lead with that. But for week 9, and we're on week 9, we have all the previous weeks on YouTube. So if you want to go and check it out, you can go to YouTube and check it out. Unfortunately, Facebook doesn't hold this stuff anymore. So I would advise you to go to Trish Standley TV on YouTube if you've missed any week. Thank you guys for the love and the hearts and the likes. Thank y'all. Especially YouTube. YouTube is showing out right now, y'all. Come on, Facebook. We got to get them numbers up. But at any rate, we are on week 9. And in this prompt book, this is what I started saying and got sidetracked. In this prompt book, it doesn't just give the prompts that I'm sharing, it gives different things. Like when you sit down, when you first sit down to journal, how are you feeling today? You ask yourself, how are you feeling today, girl? Or sir, how are you feeling today? What is it, that you're feeling? I think we need to start expressing how we feel. That helps build the muscle. So when someone come and ask you how you feel, you can really audibly tell them how you're feeling, because it puts it in great practice. So today, how are you feeling? I'm feeling tired. I feel like I'm talked out. I don't really want to be here doing this right now, nor the meeting I have next. I don't really want to talk today. I just don't. But here I am. So, but that's how I feel, and it's legitimate. Is it realistic? No. Who can go all day without speaking? But I mean, some people can. But when you got a job and you have a family, that's kind of difficult to do. But my feelings are still legitimate, and that's how I feel today. The very first prompt under week 9, which is courage, is what bold move have I been quietly considering? Y'all know y'all got some stuff on your nuggets. You know you got some things. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, cuz that's my family over there. Um, hey Nisha, got family over here. Hey guys. But what is a bold move that you have been quietly considering? Write that down, cause I know y'all got some. I got some crazy ones, and most people say I do a lot, maybe too much, but I have a lot of bold moves that I am considering in my world. What is some bold moves that you're not actively um, working toward that you're considering? That's number one. Number two, what would courage look like in your daily life? I have a situation I have to address tomorrow. Oh my God, I've had situations in the last 2 weeks that I've had to really gird up a lot of courage to do. Broke my heart. Couple of two of the situations broke my heart, but I had to find that courage in order to be able to do what needed to be done. But the very first step that I noticed that I had, um, in what I needed to do and what I had to do, was I had to be honest with Trish, and I had to sit down and ask myself, how is this serving you? Not in a selfish way, but how is this a disservice to you? How is this servicing you? I had to be honest. And that is how I decided to step into this second, entering into the second phase of 2026. Hey, Jay. Um, I had to come to the conclusion that in all situations, in every opportunity that I am able to, I have to be 100% honest. And I can name, my mind goes to three situations right now where I had to be honest with me first, but I also had to exercise courage so that I can take the honesty that I'm holding within myself and share that with these individuals. It still hurt. It still doesn't feel well, but the stress of not sleeping on that thing, not worrying on that thing, not just dwelling on that thing, it brought me so much peace within my body, within my mind, within my heart, and even in my sleep. And so I'm saying that to say that it takes a lot of courage just to be honest, just to be present and honest with the people who are a part of your life, a part of your journey. It takes a lot, and it takes courage to push past what is not uncomfortable or doesn't always feel good. Okay, so again, that prompt is, what would courage look like in my daily life? Okay, the next prompt is, what fear has had too much influence over my decisions? And I know this can probably go, because I hear people talk all the time and they say, well, I would do this if I had the money. I would do that if I had the money. Is money really truly the issue, especially in this day and age? I talk to so many people who say, Trish, I want to have a TV show, or I want to have a show just like you. Well, you can do that for free here on social media because we have lives everywhere. So, what is really truly holding you back? Oh, I want my platform to look a certain way before I step out into it. I need this. I desire that. All of that does not mean a thing if you don't have the courage to walk out what it is you have. There are very different levels of where you can do and act in boldly in the things that you say you want to do, or that you say you're called to do. You can do it now. There's very few stipulations out here that is keeping you, especially with the internet, with AI, with all of this technology, all of this stuff that we have going on right now. There should be no reason or nothing that keeps you from walking into that space other than fear. Other than, and I guess that falls under fear, judgment from other people. That's a fear of why you're not doing what you say you are called, or you say you desire to do. So again, what fear has had too much influence over my decisions? Okay? And then the last one is, who inspires me to be braver and why? And if you can't answer that question, then that means you need to do an inventory of your crew. You really do. You need to do an inventory of people who say they're in your corner no matter what. They got your back no matter what. You need to reevaluate that, because we all need someone in our life who inspires us to be better, greater. And sometimes it could be someone that you don't know. It could be someone that you're watching from afar. But even if you don't have that going on, that's a problem. And maybe that's where you need to start. Change your surrounding. A couple years ago, I want to say 2023, or was it 2024? One year I went in January. I said, you know what? I don't really do resolutions too much anymore anyway. But I said, I'm going to go in with an intention to be intentional with all of my adjusting this thing because this sun is not nice to y'all. Um, I'm going to be intentional in all of my connections, in new people that I meet. I'm going to be intentional. I'm gonna fill them out. I'm going to, follow on social media, have, little conversations. You still have your caution, be cautious. But I said that year I was going to be very intentional in my connections. And when I tell you, I have connected with some of the most amazing women, amazing women. And it has changed my life. They to this day will text me, and they don't know me as long as some of my other friends text me to check in with me. Trish, where's your headspace today? I so love them. I can text them any time of day. Hey, I need this, or hey, I need that, and they can do me the same way. Um, because it is about this sun, y'all. I'm sorry, YouTube. It is about not just receiving. Relationship is about giving and receiving in a balanced way. Okay. So it's just been so great for me in my connection since I made that mental decision that I'm going to be intentional in my relationships. And so maybe you should start there so that you ensure that your crew, they are encouraging you and inspiring you, and at the same time you're doing the same for them. Okay, someone who can, you don't even do a checklist of what all you've done for them because it seems it's so balanced that you can't keep up. That's the kind of connections, intentional connections, that you should go for, and that I suggest you go for. But yeah, those are the 4 prompts. I'm going to go through them real quick. Prompt 1: what bold move have I been quietly considering? 2: what would courage look like in my daily life? 3: what fear has had too much influence over my decisions? And the last one: who inspires me to be braver and why? Okay. And then, of course, our reflection: what truth surfaced for me during this reflection? And then, this is all about keeping our promises to ourselves. That's the hugest thing. We tend to keep our promises to everyone else except ourselves. And that's all we need to be able to do. And that's our journey here on the road of becoming her. Is in order for me to become her, I've got to keep promises to myself. And if my promise this week is I'm going to pray and try to intentionally connect with someone who can pour into me and I can pour into them, and that we can grow and become better together, because that's just what we want to do and connect with someone in this life journey. That's this is my promise to myself, that I will be open to those type of connections and relationships. Your promise could be, okay, I promise that when I think on this very thing that I said is my call, or this is my purpose in life, I promise myself that I will not allow fear to rise up when I schedule that first live. Because this is why I'm doing my lives. This was a fear for me. And so I started this in January, and here we are in May, and I'm loving it now. I love it. I really do. I don't know what I'm gonna do when we finish this journal. I gotta find something else, but I really enjoy it. And so I think once you make that first step, then everything else will fall into place if it is truly your purpose and your call. So I just want to put that out there. One promise I will keep to myself this week, and you have to always end every. I would like for you to end every journaling session with this affirmation: I am worthy of my own love and commitment. You have to love yourself enough to be committed to the promises that you make for yourself. It makes it easier for you to get in the mirror and talk to yourself there. I use a recorder on my phone, and a lot of times I'm saying stuff to myself and recording that so that I can go back and listen to my own voice speak, because this voice is in the head is the same voice that I record on that tape. So when I need to reverse a thought, a mindset, I play that recorder to get myself back focused, to get myself back online. This is not something that Trish did. This is something that Trish is learning through counseling to do to make Trish better. And so I'm just only sharing what I'm learning and growing from in my counseling sessions. And so that's what I want to leave you with. Each At the end of each day, you have your prayer, you have your reflection. You're going to center your heart. You're going to give God gratitude. You're going to be thankful for everything and every opportunity that you have in your life. Because without being grateful and thankful, how can God give you any more? You ain't grateful and thankful in the stuff He's given you already. And then we're going to have a prayer or a conversation with God. Ask Him, what is it? What area of my life? Illuminate it for me so that I know that that's the specific area that you need me to grow, learn, and evolve. Okay? And then shut up like I want to do. I don't want to talk no more today. But shut up and allow Him to speak to you. And we tend to think that it's going to be this big booming voice. A lot of times it's very silent, and you hear it and He's going to give you a confirmation. Absolutely will give you a confirmation in many ways, in ways that you don't even expect. But you have to shut up and allow Him to speak to you. Sometimes that might be during your sleep. That's why I always say keep a journal, keep a pad, keep something next to you always. Because when He starts pouring into you, oh Lord, it's gonna be you need to write it down. You need to write it down. And then the last thing is your weekly intention. What is your intention? Remember, I said we have to be intentional, absolutely intentional, in order to be able to grow, evolve, heal, and most of all, become her. Because that's our journey and that's our purpose, to become her. And I thank you guys. I so thank you for coming and hanging out with me. Excuse my attire, but y'all know y'all gonna get what y'all get. We start taping June 13th to 14th. Y'all gonna get the glammed out Trish then. But right now, this is what you're gonna get. But I love you. I thank you so much for hanging out with me. Remember, this week is courage. How can we exercise and walk out our courage in this upcoming week? Okay. And then next week is so important. We can't do any of this stuff. Everything from week 1 to week 9. We can't do anything without week 10. And week 10, we're going to talk about rest. Rest is so underrated. We want to go hard, and I'm just that girl. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to go hard. No, that's not balance. That's not wisdom. And that is actually slowing down your process, because how can God hear you when you're always busy? How can you speak and pour into someone when you're always busy? And so it's very important. How can you even keep a promise to yourself when you're exhausted? So we're going to talk that. We're going to break it down next week. I thank you guys for hanging out with me. I think that's all of my announcements for today, but I thank you. Remember, go to trishstanley.com to get your free link for becoming her. I have some new pieces. Forgot about that. Got some new pieces coming out, and check me out this time next week on my Etsy shop that you guys can check out. So excited for this summer spring line. So make sure you go there and check me out. I love you. Take care. Make sure you share, like, and follow. I always forget this. I've forgotten this 9 weeks. Like, share, and follow this video if it was a blessing to you. I love you guys, and I will see you next week, God willing. Take care.